Well, hey, I'm EJ, you are you, and welcome to my channel. So today, y'all, we have something very exciting. We have part one of our multi-part Canyon speed build series. Yep, you heard me right. This is only part one. We are going to be focusing on one small part of this canyon because this canyon, guys, she's big. But I hope you guys are excited. This build is super fun and I'm excited to get into it. But before we do that, let's make sure that you are subscribed so that you can see the second part when it comes out. And also, if you like the video, just give the video a like, you know? It's just the natural thing to do. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. And yeah, let's get into this video, y'all. Let's go. All right, so Canyon Build. So disclaimer, the first part of this build, like the first 2 minutes or so, were actually done on a stream that I had done, a build stream, because I knew that there was going to be a lot of terraforming, and a lot of terraforming is just kind of boring to do by yourself. So I was like, I'll do it on stream. I'll hang out with people. It's fun. And you know what? It was. How cute, how cute. So yeah, I'm just building up the cliffs around. This is in the back right corner of my island. And then this part that we're going to be focusing on today is actually around this waterfall that I'm setting up right now. Now it is a 2-tier waterfall and is based off of a waterfall that is in the Grand Canyon in Arizona called Havasu Falls, which is on the Havasupai tribal lands of those are the indigenous people in that area. And yeah, it is just gorgeous. You might have seen it in a Beyonce music video, which apparently raised some controversy when it was first out, but she asked and permission and they gave it to her. So she was fine. Anyways, it's just this really gorgeous place within the Grand Canyon. It's surrounded by all of the red rocks and things like that. But there's also this really clear blue water that rolls down, and then all this greenery around it. And the minute I saw it, I was like, I want to recreate something like this on my island. And what I came up with, what I end up with, I would say, is not a faithful recreation of this, but definitely I think if you were to look up pictures of it, you would see where the inspiration came from. Now, I will say part of this build was also, this terraforming, was also working on the river that is going to connect down to the rest of the canyon, but that is going to be for future installments of this canyon. But so here is where we ended up. This is the terraforming that we ended up with. You can see where the falls go down to a little lake, and there a river little goes off, and we're going to be focusing on this falls area. So now we're going to jump ahead. Obviously, you can tell by my different clothes and the dark dirt. This is after now the RV park. All of that terraform that you just saw was before the RV park was made. Now it's after. Now, I know that I just made you guys watch a lot of terraforming, so I'm going to skip through a lot of this dirt forming, and just because you get the idea. I will say, though, that with this canyon, I'm having to contend a lot with the natural edges and having these really spotty paths because of it, because there's all those curves and things, it's just so frustrating. But it's definitely an interesting challenge to kind of figure out how I can cover that up, how I can make it look, natural, blended in, all that stuff. It's very fun. It's very fun. And this is basically how I do it. I put a bunch of these termite mounds on the overlapping, the dirt paths. I put this garden rock here. I get rid of it, don't worry. But whatever. I was it'll be different. It's stupid. Anyways, but yeah, so I put the termite mounds. See, here we go. And they cover up the grass part, and they kind of form a bridge between the two dirt paths. It's not perfect, but I think, when you're actually walking through the area, I don't think you really notice it. And it really does help kind of smooth out that transition, make it a little bit less jagged. But now we're going to get into the actual designing and the actual, putting it all together part of that's going to take up the majority of this video. So a few things that I'm working with this build is I decided to put a bunch of bamboo shoots down and actually skip ahead 2 days so that way they were already in the second day stage, second growth stage, which is the one that I like to stunt them in. And then I can just like bring them along with me and just place them around as I please. And so this viewpoint that you just saw was very important to me. And so I really returned back to it a lot because that's where I wanted people to view this area from. But I also realized that I needed to give them a way to get down. So we're going to be putting up some ramps. I do a natural ramp here, but I actually changed my mind and later do a log staircase. But we'll get to there. We'll get to there. But yeah, so I think with these, especially with these really big areas, what's really helpful for me is thinking like, okay, where do I want where do I want people visiting my island? Where do I want them to really like go to see this area, right? Also I get some flowers. I'm like, oh, campsite villager, let's go. Oh, so, you know, and for a second I was like, was that Gala? It wasn't. Don't worry, we're fine. But I was like horrified that might have been this villager that I wanted for my island. But it's not. We're good. We're good. We're good. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, right. Actually, this is funny because I got myself stuck because I can't go up. You have to be like on an actual grid. So I had to use rescue services. Anyways, so vantage points, very important. I like to think about them just in terms of like, where do I want people to actually be standing when they're viewing this area? And so you'll see that area right in the front of the lake, I keep returning to it because I'm really using that as like, okay, this is where I want it all to come together. It all lines up perfectly and looks beauteous from this one area. So that is really where you will see me returning to a few times. And then all around here, I'm just putting so many freaking termite mounds. I think I ended up using close to, I want to say 40, 45 termite mounds for this area, which is insane. Thanks. Shout out to Joby Fam on Twitch. I was using their Treasure Island a bunch to get all these termite mounds, and they are a godsend. So we love Joby Fam. Now, Billy, I need you to move out of the way. I'm sorry, but I got to put something down here. Okay. Sorry, buddy. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, so it's starting to come together. You're starting to see that, but what I'm struggling with right now is a lot of the verticality of the top part. It just feels very flat, even though it's on the third level. It just like seems like it's just like very, I don't know. It goes up and then it's like, blah, it kind of plateaus out on the top. I don't know. I was struggling with this for a while. The other thing that I'm doing is, it's actually interesting because I feel like this build, I feel like the first couple of builds of this island were very much about, restraint and less is more and adding lots of negative space and embracing that, because that was the desert part. But because this is an oasis kind of feeling area, like that's why I refer to it in my head as it's like the oasis. I really was actually putting a bunch of objects here. It felt like I was building back on Ponderosa, my jungle island, because, I was like putting patterns down under every single thing to make it feel very full and lush, even though it's like the middle of a desert. But yeah, so then I also wanted to make this a little viewing area. Like, how when you're visiting a national park or something, they'll have like a cute little viewing area. That's what this is. Olivia had other plans and she kept getting in my way, but I finally moved her out of the way. And I put this hardwood tree, which, it was a choice and I thought I liked it. I was wrong. And then I'm struggling with where everything is, because I want to make sure that it's not that is not obstructed. Your view is not obstructed. But I'm also struggling because Billy's house is right in front of this area, so that's what you're seeing and like the lower part of your screen every time I walk by here. So I'm like, it's feeling a little bit cramped. I'm starting to go like, is this the best thing? I'm just gonna focus on other things right now. And so then I just put down more termite mounds. When in doubt, mound it out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, damn, I use so many freaking termite mounds. I really can't get over it. Oh, now this next part is really cool. I was been very excited about using this. So this is inspired by their Instagram handle is Gubbly Pie, Gubbly Pie, Pie. And basically, the idea is to put down these throwback mitt chairs and turn them around because the green ones look like cactus. They look like cactuses. Cacti? Cactuses? Whatever. They look like those when they turn around. So I thought it was so cool, and I've been waiting to use it for, more of these natural areas because when you're like walking next to it, I think it kind of loses the appeal, but like when it's kind of far away, like here, it really works. It's so cool looking. And I feel like it's just like such a great use of this really ugly item, So shout out to Gubbly Pie on Instagram. Definitely go check them out and give them a follow. They are also doing a country kind of moment. So we love that. So then I decided that, it was cramped. I basically listened to what my body was telling me or what my eyes were telling me. And that was saying that like, it's too cramped here. You need to extend this out. So I basically made the lake a little bit smaller so that you could get closer to the falls and also so that you're farther away from Billy's house. And I think this just makes the vantage point a little bit better. It makes the picture look better. It's closer. We have to deal a little bit less with like the curvature of like your island or whatever. And I think it just looks way better. So I was happy with it. And here's where I figured it out. Trees. That's what I was missing. But first, bridges. Putting a bridge down. And now we're putting inclines out. See, I replaced it. I didn't get the first log staircase on video, and now here it is. Here she is. Look at her. Look at all this infrastructure. Inclines, bridges. I mean, wow. Are we FDR? Because I feel like we just did the new deal. Okay. So trees. That is what I was missing, and I was kind of like, I don't know. I'm like desert. There's not many trees, but this part is different. This part I think is much more Arizona and Colorado inspired. Less of like the New Mexico like stretches of desert kind of thing, and also Arizona stretches of desert. But anyways, so trees, they're fair game. They're fair game for this part, I would say. So I just use these cedar trees, and I think they look great. I really like the cedar trees. Cedar trees have always been my favorite. I think I've said this earlier, like way earlier, but I really love cedar trees. They're great. Anyways. A fun stray observation, by the way, as I'm working on this pathway, I'm using the stepping stones to get from the RV park down to our area. So ACNH.Mialand, you might have heard me talk about her in one of my in the Ponderosa builds. She inspired those really thin walkways that were all of the like land bridges on Ponderosa. So she did a rainforest island, and I was doing a rainforest island at the same time. Well, come to find out, yesterday on Instagram, she posts a picture of a desert canyon, and that's her new build. That's her new island, is a desert canyon. And I was just like, are you kidding? I was dying. I mean, I posted my story. She responded, and she's very sweet. But like, it's just so funny to me because like, oh, also, because the person that I just mentioned, Gubbly Pie, their previous island theme was rainforest. So like there seems to be a very strong trend of people doing rainforest islands and then being like, I want to go to the West. So that's just something interesting. I don't know. That was something funny that I've just been noticing. So yeah, this pathway that you've been watching me build while I rant. Basically, I'm just trying to make it look populated along the side. It's tough because you can't really put trees or anything along the side. And by trees, I just mean like the bamboo stuff. I fit it in a couple places, but for the most part, it's pretty thin stretches and you don't really want to obstruct the walking path. So lots of fencing, lots of termite mounds right across the side. And now we're going to work on this little tourist area again. We're going to take 2, right? So we're filling in this area to the left of the staircases, and then we're going to start working on the area that is to the right. But first, we're going to do some pathing with our lovely stepping stones. I love these stepping stones. They're great. Shout out to the creator. They're awesome. Check out, creator codes are down in the description, by the way. Haven't mentioned that until now, but if you're a regular here, you'll know. Anyways, so we're working on this seating area, and I'm really imagining this again as like that very national parks area where you come, you sit, you take in the sights, you pull out your camera, you take a picture. It lasts a while. So I'm really trying to give some seating areas and things like that. And then along this right edge, just filling in any space that you can see. Infamously, I would now say, remarked in one video one time that, like, if you can see it for even a second, it's worth putting something down for it. Which I will stand by, but in the moment when I was working on this and that phrase was echoing in my mind, I resented myself. I said, EJ, why did you do this to yourself? Why did you set this standard up for yourself? But now I'm like happy that I did it because I think it looks good. Anyways, we're working on that. We're building out this very thin cliff area, which is good because most of the items I've been using for this build are 1x1 square. So, they fit right in. Also, these purple flowers. So I know you're like, wait, purple hyacinths? Why is he using purple hyacinths? There is this incredible picture that I saw of like the mountains in the background. And in the foreground, there was these like bushes, brambles even, of like orange and purple flowers that looked like hyacinths. It was gorgeous. So I'm definitely like trying to like think about places where I can fold that into this part of my island. So keep an eye out. I have a couple ideas, but this is just like our first nod towards that area. Also, sidebar, another sidebar. I feel like this whole video is just one big sidebar. Am I right? Anyways. I hate diagonal bridges with pathing. It's the worst thing in the world. Because I don't know. I just wish there was a more elegant way to do the pathing up to a diagonal bridge and not have this like bumpy land over here. Bumpy land USA, looking like the Appalachian Mountains, going up to my frickin' bridge, huh? Anyways. So basically, I'm building out this clearing. I'm putting down a bunch of stones here. And all around it on the bottom, I'm putting nature. But like, honestly, we don't really need to see this. Yeah, we'll just skip to the walkthrough. Here we go. Look, I'm walking through it. Look at that. Wow. So yeah, lovely path. I love this double bridge incline moment. I think it looks really, I don't know. It's like really cool. I haven't done something like that before, so it was fun for me. And look at this view, guys, guys, look at it. I love it. Like so many pictures. I'm going to take so many pictures here. I already know. So if you follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, I'm sorry. I'm sorry in advance, but y'all, I just really love this. Now, obviously, it gets like a little thinly populated over here, which is where we will continue to work. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. It was a lot of fun. Again, it feels very different from previous builds I've done. But I think it's like a fun flavor to this island. And honestly, just like every build on this island, I'm just like, this is my favorite area. But with that said, we are going to wrap this video up, but keep your eyes peeled for part 2 of this canyon build. I'm not sure if it's going to be a 3-parter. It might just be a 2-parter, but keep your eyes out for that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get notified of whenever that video goes live. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you so much taking some time out of your day to watch me ramble and build some things on ACNH. If you watched to the end, why don't you let me know by answering our question of the day down below in the comments. This one is provided by Shockyman. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but they ask, Have you ever seen a ghost? Let me know. It's spooky. I love spooky. Okay, let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like if you like the video. Subscribe so we can come and hang out. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.